Kanye West. Always making headlines, right? Seems like every time you turn around, there's another story. Well, get ready, because in this deep dive, we're going deep into his latest controversy. A lawsuit, serious accusations, and even a connection to another huge name in music. This one's got it all.
It really does. And what's fascinating from a legal perspective is how this case is evolving in real time. It's a story about power, celebrity, and the legal battles that can erupt when accusations like these come to light.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. The lawsuit, it was filed by Kanye's ex-personal assistant, Lauren Pisciotta, right?
That's right.
And this didn't come out of nowhere. Back in June, she made those initial claims about sexual harassment against Kanye.
Yeah, and she even released what she said were texts from him back then. Really disturbing stuff.
Yeah.
But now things have escalated because she's filed what's called an amended lawsuit.
Amended lawsuit. So for those of us who haven't been through law school, what does that even mean?
Basically, it means she's tacking on new claims to her original lawsuit. It happens sometimes in these cases. New evidence, a clearer picture of the alleged wrongdoing. And in this case, those new claims are causing all the commotion.
And the biggest thing people are talking about with this amended lawsuit, right, is this whole incident that allegedly went down at a studio session. And not just any session. We're talking about one co-hosted by, wait for it, Diddy. Sean Diddy Combs.
Right.
Big names. But got to be careful here because it's important to note that Diddy himself, he's not being sued by Pisciotta.
No, absolutely. He's not a defendant in this particular suit.
Okay, good to clarify.
But his name being tied to this alleged incident, it adds a whole other layer. You know, this case is already so public.
Totally. So let's get into it. What's Pisciotta actually saying happened? She's claiming she was at this session with Kanye and Diddy and that the vibe was a lot of drinking.
Yeah, she says she basically got the message, drink up or get out.
Wow. And she said she had a few drinks and then things get blurry. Memory's hazy after that.
And this is where it gets really serious. She's alleging that she doesn't remember much of anything after that point. Wakes up the next day, no recollection of what went on. And then she claims Kanye himself told her later that they'd slept together.
Oh, wow. Okay, so if this is all true, we could be talking about something really serious here. I mean, drugging someone?
Absolutely.
That's not just messed up. It's illegal. And ethically. Come on.
Well, you're right. Drugging someone, especially if the goal is to then engage in sexual activity, it can have very serious consequences, legal and otherwise. And it brings up this whole other issue of consent. If someone's drugged, they can't exactly give consent, can they?
Right.
That's a huge part of any case that involves potential sexual misconduct.
This whole thing, it really makes you think about, you know, the power dynamics at play in the music industry. It's something we've been hearing more about, especially since the whole #MeToo movement.
Definitely. And it's not unique to music, is it?
Yeah.
Lots of industries have these power imbalances where people can feel pressured or like vulnerable, you know?
Yeah.
Because of someone else's status, their influence.
Yeah, totally. And it makes you wonder, like, let's say someone is brave enough to come forward, especially against a huge name like Kanye West. What are the odds of them actually getting justice?
That's the tough question, right? Because you're dealing with these powerful figures.
Yeah.
There are unique challenges. Witnesses might be scared to speak out, worried about their own careers. Evidence can be hard to come by. And then there's this whole court of public opinion thing. People can be swayed by fame and money, you know.
It's true. So often it feels like David and Goliath, but with way more on the line. And listen, we're not trying to make any judgments here, but it's important to point out that these accusations against Kanye, they aren't exactly coming out of left field.
Right. There have been other allegations. And while those are separate situations, it's hard to ignore, you know.
Yeah.
It makes you think about patterns of behavior. Are there systemic issues here in certain circles or even in the industry as a whole?
It's a lot to unpack. And it does make you wonder, where do we go from here? What happens next for Kanye West and for the music world in general?
It's what we're all waiting to see, right? Will this spark real change, or will it just be another headline that fades away?
Yeah.
Well, one thing's for sure, the music industry, just like any other industry, they have a responsibility, don't they, to create an environment that's safe and fair for everyone.
For sure.
This case, it just highlights how crucial accountability and transparency are.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot to think about. So as you process all of this, here's a final thought for you. If someone like Kanye West, with all his fame, all his influence, if he can face these kinds of accusations, what does that tell us about the importance of speaking truth to power, no matter who that power belongs to? This story is far from over, and we'll be here to break it all down for you as it continues to unfold.